Today we're taking a look at Australian lithium stock AVZ Minerals, and their ticker is, you guessed it, AVZ on the ASX. We're going to be providing a bit of a fundamental overview on the company as well as some high level technical analysis as well to try and make some predictions on where we can expect to see AVZ Minerals go in the near future. Let's take a look. I've partnered with Crypto.com to provide my viewers with an awesome opportunity to accelerate their crypto journey. Crypto.com is used by over 50 million users in 90 countries across the globe and is a leading platform for buying, selling and staking crypto. They also offer metal Visa cards with a huge range of rewards that allow you to convert and withdraw your crypto in fiat currency. Crypto.com is offering a $25 sign up reward using my affiliate link in the description or by entering affiliate code RyanProven. How's it going, guys? Ryan here and welcome back to another ASX stock analysis video. As I mentioned, today we're looking at AVZ Minerals. Their ticker on the ASX is AVZ, and in my opinion this is one of the next possible biggest projects in the lithium space. They even have the potential to be in that sort of top 5 range if they get things up and running in the future. Now, before I start things off, I am aware that there are some legal issues that are currently ongoing with AVZ. I'm not going to go into those in too much detail. Instead, I'm going to be focusing on the project itself, its resource, and of course, why I think this could certainly be a big player in the future. Now, to kick things off, the maiden project will be the Manono project, which is located in the Dominican Republic of Congo. This is their flagship project, and I'll get into the details a bit later, but the absolute scale and the grade of the lithium found on this hard rock location is absolutely staggering. And I believe the site is roughly 188 square kilometers long, and they have various different areas within there that they will be focusing on. But without further ado, let's have a little bit of a deep dive into AVZ Minerals. Kicking things off, the Manono project is located in the Dominican Republic of Congo, as I mentioned, or the DRC for short. They hold currently 75% of this project, and they have the ability to secure additional interests in it, and it covers 188 kilometers squared. And the key area within there that they're focusing on is called Roche d'Or. I'll get into that a bit later, but they have current strike lengths of 13 kilometers that host lithium pegamites, and from previous drilling results that were conducted in 2017, these results are outstanding. So I'll give you 3 of them. 235 meters at 1.66% lithium oxide, 202.8 meters at 1.57% lithium oxide, and 250.9 meters at 1.48 lithium oxide. This is why I genuinely believe AVZ's resource could be one of the biggest, obviously with the possibility of expansion, and one of the major producers moving into the near future of lithium for the world's supply and of course massive supply constraints. Now, the Roche d'Or mineral resource was sitting at 400 million tons, and it was graded at 1.65% lithium oxide. Now that is an absolutely huge mineral resource itself, and it was defined within the definitive feasibility study which was conducted back in 2020. Just to touch briefly on this definitive feasibility study itself, keep in mind that we are looking at 2020 numbers, and as we all know, the lithium price since that point has gone absolutely crazy. So the numbers that are reflected in this DFS aren't reflective of what we are going to see when the project goes ahead. They will be significantly, and when I say significantly, I mean very, very significantly higher compared to what we are seeing here. Initially, they had basically determined that they had an MPV pre-tax of $2.3 billion US. And that is a post-tax MPV of $1 billion US. That in itself is huge. The internal rate of return pre-tax 53% and 33% post-tax. Net profit after tax for the life of the mine back based on those 2020 numbers was $3.7 billion US. Huge amounts of money we're talking there, which would only now be inflated by those massive lithium price figures we are currently seeing in this day and age. Based on the DFS, they had basically predicted a 20-year mine life producing at roughly 700,000 tons per annum of high-grade SC6 lithium. So that is really big numbers there, as you can imagine. You can do the figures yourself, but we're seeing about $8,000 per ton of lithium, and when we're talking 700,000 tons per year, you can see that the profits would be absolutely massive. Now, whilst this company is obviously not in production, given the size of the resource they are worth a few $billion, and they have the attention of some major players. One of those is a company called Suzhou. I don't know if I pronounced that. Apologies if it is incorrect, but they were a major cornerstone investor in the past financial year for AVZ, contributing $240 million US to basically assist in the project's development. And upon the completion of that project, they've also entered in a transaction implementation agreement, which basically is a 24% direct ownership of the company itself. So a major cornerstone investor right there, and you can see that obviously many other players in this space can see the value behind AVZ, in particular their Manono project in the DRC. That covers the fundamental overview of AVZ Minerals, guys. Now what we're going to do is take a look at the chart, perform some technical analysis, and try and make some predictions on where we can expect to see AVZ go in the near future. Let's take a look. Welcome into the AVZ chart, guys. Now before I kick things off, what you'll notice is the pricing data is only up until the 6th of May 2022, and it's because they have been in court, as I've mentioned previously, and as a result of this they have been in an indefinite trading suspension. So that's why we're basically using old data to the best of our abilities here. Now take it as you will. First and foremost, the last price for AVZ was at 78 cents after, as you can see, a massive drop. This was off the back of issues with regards to this arbitration and indefinite trading holds inbound, but as you can see, shot up briefly as well due to the fact that on this date there was approvals for mining to go ahead and be awarded to a contractor. But I won't go too much into the detail of that, as this is the technical part of the analysis, and instead what I will do is just kick things off. First and foremost, what we need to try and identify is clear points of support, resistance, and a trend. Right now, where the price is actually currently sitting, we are on a major support point at 78 cents. You can see this has acted previously as a resistance point and of course as a support point as well. Plenty of trading action around here, and worst case scenario, when this does open, I'd suspect we go down all the way to our next point of support, which is probably roughly about here at 64.5. Now, given everything does go well with the legal proceedings, I would expect we wouldn't see a decrease in value. Instead, I would expect an increase, but I'm just putting that there for reference. Now, looking at everything else, moving averages, you can see obviously that 20-day moving steeply downwards, mainly due to the fact that there is a downtrend and a massive red candle in the mix there, but not across right now of that 20-day moving average below the 50-day. The 200 still trending in an upwards direction overall, which is relatively positive. Now, are we in any sort of a trend? Well, I don't think we are. We've sort of dropped out of what was an upwards trend over here. You can see we are now below it. So that has become irrelevant, except for the point that probably this is the target to get back above when trading does certainly recommence. Volume wise, obviously plenty of selling occurred in the last 3 trading days, I'd say, with a point of indecision when we did hit that support point for the second time in that 3-day period. Let's take a look now at the relative strength index. Now the RSI is showing us this is certainly oversold almost, right now sitting at 31.57, coming down from where we peaked at 78.18. The following day is where we hit a high, or actually it may have been that day in particular. The high was just about here. It was the same point on both days basically. $1.34. So that is really the peak, and obviously ideally where you'd hope AVZ gets back to when things start to move. Let's look at the MACD as well now, and this won't show a good picture. Of course, we had the crossover here as that downtrend certainly did start, and it is still moving in the downwards direction. The EMAs are nowhere near each other, so this trend in essence should continue until we see some price stability. Hopefully the stability when trading recommences is around that 78-cent mark, and it provides basically a base for us to take the next leg upwards. Other than that, guys, not too much from a TA perspective. It's really hard to do this when we are looking at old data and we're really sucking our finger and putting it in the air and trying to work out, what's going to happen here. Overall, not terrible at the end of the day when you consider that only just back in the same sort of period of the previous year we were sitting at 16 cents. So you're still sitting multiples above that point, and given the overall lithium market at the moment and where we're sitting now, I would certainly expect a big increase to go ahead. As I said, price target would be immediately to try and get back above this, I suppose, upwards trend, which we unfortunately broke below. But I suppose as well, I would not be shocked to see a bit of sideways movement until we see a bit of, I suppose, confidence come back into the stock. All in all, could this achieve its all-time highs once again? Absolutely, but it all comes down to progressing the actual project itself. That wraps up today's analysis of today's lithium stock, AVZ Minerals. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the comments section below. Of course, if you did enjoy today's video as well, make sure you do leave a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of this sort of content, hit subscribe and turn on those bell notifications. I'll leave it there for today, guys. I hope you have an awesome day. I'll see you next time. Cheers.